Hi guys, it's Dhruv here. I'm in my office in Pune. I'm actually only one here right now because the rest of the team has gone to do a workshop, and I'm and so half the team is doing a workshop, and also half of the team are either working from home or something. So I get the whole office to myself. As you can see over here, it's pretty amazing. That's our conference room, and then upstairs we have some bedrooms where we can stay. And this is actually a sustainable HVAC system. It's an evaporative cooler, like you must have seen was used in, maybe if you're from Rajasthan, you've seen like the desert coolers. So yeah, so my responsibility here is basically to work on fundraising, and I also work on building tools, and what I also and in building tools I also look to get investment for those tools. So now that that's all said, the primary purpose for making this video is actually to work on or to talk about block correction. So there's basically three kinds of block correction. There's pre-block, in-block, and post-block. And actually, while I've been speaking to you, I actually demonstrated all three of those. So for example, let's first start off with post-block correction. So for example, if I have a block, let's say I'm saying I am alone in the office, and I'm going to have a block on the word alone, the ah sound. So I am alone in the office. That's a post-block correction, or it's also called a cancellation. Yeah, some people, but it's basically when you block, you say a word, like I'm saying alone, and then you take a breath, pause, and say it again, alone. So it's like you are correcting after you already had the block, post-block. For example, again, alone. That's post-block correction. Now, in-block correction on the same sentence is, in-block correction requires a lot of awareness that I'm going into a block. So, for example, if you can step back and you can think, okay, abhi main block mein ja raha hu, abhi kya ho raha hai, and then you can. So, for example, if I'm going into a block, like I am alone in the office. So it's like अभी मैं ब्लॉक में जा रहा हूँ, क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, और फिर आप ट्राई करो कि आप instead of pushing, you sort of relax yourself. So when you're going into a block, you're in the middle of a block, then you relax yourself, relax your neck, relax everything, and then you say the word again. So again, I am in the office right now. It's called in-block correction. I'm becoming aware of when I'm going into a block, and then when I'm in the block, I know that I am, so I am then trying to become more relaxed and then say the word. Now, pre-block correction is simply where before I have a block, for example, many times okay, on this word I'm going to stammer. So for example, on the word alone, I am alone in the office, I'm going to stammer on the ah sound of alone. So what I can do is I can do something to correct that. So for example, I can relax myself, I can even think of doing voluntary stammering, I can think of doing bouncing, or I can, so basically, before I say that word, so I'm thinking I am alone in the office. So I saw the block was coming, but I was able to be so aware that I can then correct it And I can actually, in this time, I can use a technique if I want here. So I can use prolongation. I am alone in the office. Or bouncing. I am alone in the office. Or even voluntary stammering. I am alone in the office. And in fact, the secret is actually bouncing and voluntary prolongation are in fact different ways of voluntary stammering, because you're in a way purposely stammering. So yeah, that's basically it. And I think the key thing to keep in mind if you are working on the manual Apna Haat Jaganath, and this I believe comes in chapter 5, pre, in, and post block correction, please make sure you read the first chapters, especially obviously chapter 1, 2, and 3. And in chapter 3, there are exercises that work on acceptance, because none of this block correction is going to work if you haven't acknowledged that you stammer and you're okay with it, because it's not possible to do a block correction when you have so much emotions coming out and you are so afraid. It just won't work. So yeah, please make sure you work on acceptance. In chapter 3, at the end of chapter 3, there are exercises that you can do where you talk to other people about your stammering. You accept, I stammer, and it's okay. You talk to your pet, talk to your wife or your girlfriend or your friend or anybody, your mother, your father, and talk to them about stammering openly. And only then, after a few months of really accepting, acknowledging that you stammer, going to SSG or just joining an online self-help group, online WhatsApp group even, talking to other people who stammer, realizing that it's okay, it's completely fine that you stammer. Everybody at some point in time stammers, and the people who stammer who are very successful. So so accept that you stammer, acknowledge it. For a while, talk about it a lot, blog about it, share your story, make videos on YouTube about it, make phone calls and talk to people about stammering. And then you can work on changing your stammering, making it more easy stammering, not before. Okay, thank you guys, and all the best for your journey. And I hope to see you at some workshop, conference, online, hangout, or SSG. Thank you.